I love these zebra pens. There's one problem. They've got plastic on them, which makes them weak, and they're stamped out in a factory. Everyone can get one of these. I'm going to make my own. So we're going to take this pen apart. Set these aside. We don't need them. We're after the ink cartridge. So, got some old arrows here. This one looks like it'll hold the ink cartridge pretty well. I just need to wrap it with a little bit of tape maybe, and it'll stay in there nice and snug. And this one looks like it'll hold this one pretty well. Now I have some springs that I'm going to use. This one, it's a little weak, so we'll use these ones. They're a little bit stronger. Now I'm just going to take this and we'll mark it here. And we'll cut it. We can set that aside for now. I have this. I'll probably use this for the outer tube, but just to get a general idea, I'm going to put this back together for a general idea on how long it needs to be. And there's a little spot right there that I don't want to keep, so I'll cut it off there and cut it there. That looks like it'll be good. See, I just wrapped this in some black Gorilla Tape, and now it fits nice and snug in that tube, and you can still see the marks that I made. I left it long, figured I can always cut it down to size, but I can't make it longer. I only have so much material. I need to put a pin like this one. Come on, focus. I need to put a pin into here so that it can act, so that it will hold in position when there's a spring acting against it. So to do that, I need to put a hole in the end. So I was playing around with the idea, and it actually works out really great to have a screw instead of that pin. The screw, when it's screwed all the way in like that, is really sturdy. Whereas if I had the pin would go in. Actually, I don't want to mess those threads up. Pin would go in, and it's wobbly. I don't like that, and it doesn't have a head on it like this little screw does. This little screw has a head on it that I can grip with my thumb a lot easier when I'm actuating the pen. So what I just did off camera was I took the punch and I punched 3 centers to drill out 3 holes to make an L shape, or a backwards L shape rather, that screw would actuate in. Now that I have these 3 holes, I'm going to take a slightly larger drill bit and drill out this last hole here. That way it acts as a kind of lock to lock the pin in place when the pen is open. Now that all 3 holes are drilled out, I'm going to use my Dremel to connect the 3 holes, which I'm going to do off camera because it's hard to do while between the camera and my eyes. Now that the Dremel work is out of the way, I'm going to use some needle files, and I have a rectangular one and a round one off to the side, and I'm going to clean it up a little bit so that the screw can fit nicely in that groove. Alright, I got the screw in there, and it moves. It's fine, nice and smooth. It locks in place as long as there's upward pressure, which with a spring or 2 in there, there'll be plenty of upward force to get into the little notch. Right there. Alright, now that I have the L-shaped notch in there, I can cut it down. Still just a smidge oversized. And I want to round this nut and the screw down a little bit, just to act as a little cap so that it's not an open tube going down into the pen. So I've got the nut jammed up against the head of the bolt. I have a file in the vise, and I'm just going to run these back and forth until they fit inside that tube. Now that those are round and they fit in the tube, I'm going to cut it down so that the bolt isn't quite so long sticking down inside the pen. I also have this piece of aluminum that it's a little bit bigger than the tube, but I'm going to chuck it up in the drill, and I'll shape it down to size to fit as a nose for the pen. I deliberately made it oversized because the pen couldn't physically fit through that. I made it oversized so that there was enough material for me to still chuck it in the drill in order to drill a hole or to finish polishing it. So I'm going to do that and I'll get back to you. Alright, I have it. I center punched, or tried to center punch, this, and I'm going to drill it with this 1/8 inch drill bit. I couldn't get this piece to work. If you look, can't really see, but that hole isn't centered. It doesn't get recentered at all. And neither is this hole. It's not centered. So I decided to not go with a tapered nose, but rather just a square nose, and just glue this right in. Even that, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than the other ones. So I'm gonna cut it about right there. I trimmed this piece down, and now there's a hole going right through it. Not perfectly centered, but that's alright. I'm using the round file for now to hold the pen in place so that I can use this drill bit to find where it ends and mark it. It was in that deep. If I take it out, if I mark right there, where'd my Sharpie go? And mark right there. I know that I can cut just a little bit, because that's where the tip of the pen is when it's down. So I can cut about that much above that line.